Hello, soul family. Welcome to Spiritual Manifestation. If this is your first time here, I'm so glad you found this space. If you're returning, welcome back. It's always a blessing to connect with you. Today, I was really inspired by last week's video to dive into another powerful no-contact message from your person. Without further delay, let's dive in. Okay, Divine Feminine, let's see what I can channel for you today. Okay. I sense that as the Divine Feminine, you're seeking clarity about what's happening behind the scenes, how your person is viewing you, and where they currently stand in the connection, especially if there's distance between you. I'll be using the Energy Oracle deck to tap into their feelings and gain insights into the energy surrounding your connection. Let's begin. All right, let's begin by pulling a card from the Energy Oracle deck to set the tone for this reading. The card that comes through is Deceit. This energy immediately sets the stage for a message rooted in hidden truths and unresolved tensions. The first message we're receiving here is, you can't handle the truth. This is powerful and revealing. Right away, I'm picking up on an energy of someone who may have ghosted you or pulled back significantly. There seems to have been either rejection or a sudden slowdown in communication. However, what's coming through strongly is that your person is carrying a heavy emotional burden, something external to this connection. If you've been questioning whether their actions were triggered by something you did, or wondering if you played a role in the distance between you, I want to reassure you. This energy feels entirely separate from you. Your person seems to be navigating something deeply personal, unrelated to the connection you share. What's even more telling is their perspective. They're holding back because they believe that revealing this truth, whatever it may be, could shift the trajectory of your connection in a way they're not ready to face. There's this fear of tainting the bond you have or causing irreversible change, and so they choose to withhold. It's as though they don't feel you're ready to hear this truth, not because of any inadequacy on your part, but because they're grappling with their own uncertainty and fear of vulnerability. Right away, I'm sensing a strong divine feminine energy, one that feels deeply disappointed in how your person has handled this situation. There's this undeniable feeling of frustration because they didn't allow you the opportunity to make your own choice. You're someone who values honesty and transparency above all else, and they didn't give you the chance to decide if this was something you were willing to navigate together or work through as a team. Instead, your person seems to have assumed that you couldn't handle the truth. They jumped the gun, took control of the narrative, and either ghosted you or began pulling back their energy without explanation. This left you feeling not only disappointed, but also hurt by their lack of faith in your ability to handle the situation or communicate openly. If this resonates with you, it's likely because you feel let down, not just by what they're going through, but by how they chose to deal with it. And Divine Feminine, it feels like there's something unfolding behind the scenes in your person's life, and the weight of it has unintentionally spilled over into your connection. What's coming through strongly is that your person holds a lot of love and respect for you, but they seem to believe that sharing this part of their life with you would be too much of a burden. They may feel that whatever they're dealing with would place a strain on your connection or create an emotional weight they didn't want you to carry. You might have noticed your person pulling back their energy. Perhaps you even tried to address it, asking them directly, Can we talk about this? But it seems like the more you gently encouraged them to open up, the more they retreated. It's almost as if their fear of being vulnerable or causing harm to the relationship only pushed them further into their own shell. Now, this is interesting, Divine Feminine. The card that comes forward is the Lovers, a perfect reflection of the intense and transformative energy of your connection. This card speaks to deep bonds, choices, and the intertwining of two souls. And for some reason, the phrase right person, wrong time is really coming through to me here. The energy surrounding this connection feels like a whirlwind, fast-moving and almost overwhelming. It's as if your person was swept up in the depth of your connection and found themselves completely immersed in your energy. They were falling for you, drawn into the magic of your presence, and the time you shared felt incredible, aligned, even fated. But then something external seems to have surfaced, something heavy and unanticipated. It's like life threw them a curveball, pulling them out of the flow of this connection. I sense that this external challenge is weighing on them, making them feel as though they can't fully commit or give themselves entirely to what you both share. It's not about a lack of feelings. They feel deeply for you, but rather it's about their struggle to reconcile these emotions with the weight of their current circumstances. When you met, everything moved quickly, almost too quickly for them to process. The connection was electric, the chemistry undeniable, but this intensity seems to have caught them off guard. Now, it feels as though they've pulled back. Not because they don't care, but because they're trying to navigate something within themselves or their life that's demanding their attention. And yeah, it definitely feels like the timing was completely misaligned, almost as if it caught your person by surprise. It's possible that when this connection began, your person was expecting something lighthearted, something casual, or perhaps it was you who initially wanted to keep things simple. Either way, they didn't anticipate the depth of their feelings for you or how quickly and intensely those emotions would take hold. The card that comes through is You Got the Love. This energy speaks of boundaries, self-worth, and the delicate balance between independence and connection, a theme that aligns closely with what I'm sensing in this situation. Your person is carrying a heavy energy, one of sadness and inner conflict. They see you as someone who is incredibly advanced, whether emotionally, spiritually, or even in life experience. It's not that they truly believe you're too good for them in the sense of worth, but they feel a stark contrast between your strengths and their own struggles. This difference seems to make them question if they can meet you where you are. It's possible they admire your emotional intelligence, your spiritual alignment, or even your ability to navigate life with grace. These qualities make them feel both inspired and intimidated. At the same time, they're wrestling with shame or insecurity about whatever they're facing. They may fear you'll see their challenges as small or unimportant, even though to them, these struggles feel massive and overwhelming. This dynamic reflects a need for balance. Your person is learning to reconcile their own vulnerabilities while recognizing the strength and love they see in you. It's as though they're trying to protect the connection by stepping back, unsure if they can truly match your energy. Okay, yeah. So I'm getting that there's a clear sense that you're seen as someone advanced in some way, whether it's in age, wisdom, or emotional maturity. This difference seems to amplify your person's feelings of shame or insecurity about something they're dealing with. It's unclear whether this is tied to their present circumstances, something hidden in the background, or even a lingering issue from their past, but the weight of it is significant for them. Your person seems deeply concerned about how you might perceive them if you were to uncover this truth. Rather than opening up, they appear to be projecting their own fears onto you, assuming you might dismiss or reject them if you knew the full story. It feels like they're not yet in a space where they can be fully vulnerable or honest about this aspect of their life. They're holding back because they're uncomfortable with sharing this truth. At their core, they've convinced themselves that this situation is something you wouldn't understand or accept. But what's coming through strongly is the heaviness of their experience. It's not minor. It's something they're deeply grappling with. Okay, and the card that appears is the moon, symbolizing confusion, hidden emotions, and the need for clarity. This energy perfectly aligns with the dynamic I'm sensing in your connection. Divine Feminine, I'm immediately picking up that you've started to shift your energy, not necessarily withdrawing, but matching your person's. It's as if when you were in a space of wanting to understand what was happening with them, you openly reached out saying, "Hey, what's wrong? Let's talk about it. I'm here for you." But instead of meeting you halfway, your person seemed to resist or push you away. Over time, you reached a place of acceptance and decided to give them space. You may have thought, if they're not ready to open up, I'll take a step back and focus on myself. But now, your person is feeling the impact of that shift. They're picking up on your energy, noticing that you're no longer seeking answers or pressing them about the distance, the space, or the lack of communication. This has left them feeling confused about where they stand with you and unsure about your feelings. What's interesting here is that there seems to be a mirroring effect at play. You may also be holding back your emotions, reflecting their lack of openness. This dynamic has created a gap in communication where neither of you is fully expressing your feelings. The moon reminds us that this confusion is rooted in fear and uncertainty, but it also signals an opportunity for emotional clarity if both parties can step into a space of vulnerability. If you've been wondering what's truly happening beneath the surface, this reading offers a glimpse into your person's thought process. It feels like they've been carrying a weight, something deeply personal, and instead of dealing with it directly, they've unintentionally projected it onto your connection. This emotional burden has spilled over to the point where they've lost control of how they navigate the relationship. And when people feel out of control, they often let things continue on a downward path, rather than finding the courage to course correct. Your person seems to be caught in a cycle of making excuses, saying things like, "You're too good for me," or "You wouldn't be able to handle what I'm going through." But, Divine Feminine, I sense you're in a space of clarity now, thinking, "You didn't even give me a choice." You're someone who values transparency and honesty. For you, at the very least, there should have been a space for a real conversation. A moment where they could lay it all out and let you decide if this was something you were willing to work through or if it was beyond your capacity to hold. And I'm hearing the frustration you feel stems from that lack of choice. You're not upset about the challenges themselves. It's the way they withheld the truth and assumed you couldn't handle it that feels like the real betrayal. This distance between you is amplified because of how their actions or lack of communication have denied you the opportunity to show them the depth of your love and understanding. For you, this was about mutual respect, and their failure to offer that has created the rift you're now navigating. And this is extremely funny because the next card just jumped out at me, and it is the Six of Cups, a symbol of nostalgia, emotional longing, and the desire to reconnect with something or someone from the past. This beautifully reflects the dynamic at play here. Your person is deeply regretful and struggling with the weight of their emotions. They're caught in a loop of longing, unable to stop thinking about you and the nurturing energy you brought into their life. The connection you shared felt safe and comforting to them, and they became accustomed to your presence and your willingness to inquire about their well-being. Now, with the distance between you, whether they pulled away or pushed you away, they find themselves unable to move on from this bond. Despite their respect and deep feelings for you, they seem to be justifying their actions by telling themselves things like, the divine feminine is too advanced, too emotionally intelligent, or wouldn't understand what I'm going through. These thoughts are likely excuses they've built to shield themselves from vulnerability and the fear of fully opening up to you. They may even believe, what if they don't care? Or what if they don't see this struggle the same way I do? What's clear is that they feel the magnetic pull of your energy. They are consumed by thoughts of you, drawn to the emotional depth and wisdom you embody. Their inability to get over this connection is a testament to how deeply it impacted them, even if they haven't been able to articulate it or act on it in a meaningful way. And your person is caught in this push and pull energy when it comes to you. On one hand, they can't stop thinking about you and the connection you share. It's as though you're constantly on their mind, consuming their thoughts. On the other hand, they're wrestling with how to move forward from this place of emotional stagnation. It feels like they're trying to untangle their emotions and figure out how to navigate the weight of their external circumstances, which are clearly the root of the delays in your connection. This energy isn't about a lack of care or interest. It's more about them being stuck, unsure of how to align what's happening in their life with the connection they feel so deeply for you. All right, I really hope this resonated with someone listening today. I'm going to draw one last card from the Starseed Oracle deck here and see where it takes us. The card revealed is the Courageous Peony, reminder of the strength in vulnerability, openness, and embracing the truth. This energy speaks to the heart of your person's journey as they prepare to share what they've been holding back. The message here is, you need to know the truth. Your person seems to be reaching a pivotal moment where they're ready, or very close to being ready, to take responsibility for their role in the connection. It feels like they're finally realizing the weight of their actions, understanding that withholding the truth was not only unfair to you, but also a disservice to the bond you share. They've spent so much time consumed with thoughts of you, replaying the dynamic in their mind, and now they're starting to see things clearly. I pushed away someone who might have been willing to hear me out, to work through this with me. Even if they couldn't, I should have given them the choice to decide for themselves. There's a sense of regret here, regret for projecting their insecurities and doubts onto you, instead of being honest about what was happening. I also sense that their decision to withhold this truth wasn't rooted in malice, but in respect. They may have genuinely believed they were protecting you, not wanting to burden you with their struggles. But in doing so, they failed to consider your perspective, and that's likely where much of your disappointment stems from. They didn't give you a voice in this. They made the choice for you. And now they're realizing how unfair that was. The energy feels aligned with reconciliation, or at least an honest conversation. Your person respects you deeply, and they're coming to understand that you deserve to know the truth. This could mean they'll reach out soon to address what came between you and to share what they've been holding back. Okay, that was a lot, but that feels like a good place to wrap up today's reading. The energy here is clear. There's a lot unfolding beneath the surface, and your person is navigating their own journey toward truth and clarity. Trust that what is meant for you will find its way back in divine timing. Thank you for sharing this space with me today. If this reading resonated with you, be sure to like and subscribe for more messages. Until next time, take care and stay in your power.